This is a demonstration of exercise 620 comparing amounts for cost of goods sold, ending inventory, and gross profit using FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. Assume that AB Tire Store completed the following perpetual inventory transactions for a line of tires, and the problem gives us beginning merchandise inventory, purchase transactions, and sales transactions for the month of May. Requirement 1 states compute the cost of goods sold, ending merchandise inventory, and gross profit using the FIFO inventory costing method. So I have a chart set up that will allow us to calculate the purchases, cost of goods sold, and keep up with the perpetual inventory on hand as we go through each of these transactions. So we start off with inventory on hand of 16 tires at $65 each on May the 1st. On May the 11th, we purchased 10 tires at $78 each. So we're going to update our perpetual inventory records. We have the original 16 tires at $65 each. Now we have another layer of 10 tires at $78 each. Now we have our first sale of tires on May 23rd. It says that we sold 12 tires. So for FIFO, remember the first tires that we have in inventory will be considered to be the first tires that we sold. So our beginning inventory tires are going to be the ones that we're going to cost out at $65 for the sale on May 23rd. Now that's going to leave us with 4 tires at $65 from the beginning inventory and the 10 tires at $78 that we purchased on the 11th. Now we purchase another set of tires on May 26th, which is 14 tires at $80, and we update our perpetual inventory records for our 4 tires at 65, 10 tires at 78, and then the newest purchase of 14 at 80. Okay, now we have another sale of tires. We sell 18 tires on May 29th. So again, under first in, first out, we take our oldest tires first. So the 4 tires at 65 from the beginning inventory. We're going to take all 10 of those tires that we purchased at $78, and we sold 18 tires. So we need 4 more tires that we're going to take from the newest layer, which is at $80. We're going to update our perpetual inventory records, and now we only have 10 tires left at $80, the newest group that we bought left. So now we have $1,900 in purchases, $2,140 in cost of goods sold for the month, and $800 in ending inventory. Now to compute gross profit, we first need to compute our sales revenue. We know we sold 30 tires. The selling price of the tires was $88. So our sales revenue is $2,640, and that will be the same all through this problem. But our cost of goods sold we need to get from our chart, and that was $2,140 under FIFO. So we calculate a $500 gross profit, which is sales minus cost of goods sold, of $500 for FIFO. So that is the completion of requirement 1, and we go on to requirement 2 that states compute cost of goods sold and gross profit using the Lifo inventory costing method. So we're going to go through and do the same problem using the same figures but using Lifo. We start out with the 16 tires at $65 in beginning inventory, and then we have 10 tires that we purchased on the 11th at $78 each. And we're going to update the perpetual inventory records for that 16 at 65 and the 10 at 78. Okay, now we've sold 12 tires on the 23rd. Now under LIFO, remember, last in, first out. So we're going to go to our newest inventory layer first. And in this case, that's going to be the 10 tires we just purchased at $78. And we need then just 2 tires from the beginning inventory at $65. So that's going to leave in ending inventory or inventory on hand 14 tires at $65 because we took all 10 of those, had 16, and we used 2, so we have 14 left. Now we're going to purchase 14 tires at $80 on the 26th. So now we're going to update our perpetual inventory records. We still have the 14 tires from the beginning inventory at 65, and now we've got another 14 tires at $80 that we just purchased. Now we're down to May the 29th, and we sell 18 tires. So we first are going to go to that newest layer, 14 tires at $80. Last in, first out, and we're only going to take 4 from the beginning inventory because we sold 18 tires. So that's going to leave us again 10 tires in ending inventory, but costed at $65 from that oldest layer, the beginning layer that we started out with. So now we have the same sales revenue. That would not change, 30 tires at $88, but we have a new cost of goods sold from our chart of $2,290 and a new gross profit of $350 under the Lifo method. Now in requirement 3, the problem says to compute cost of goods sold and gross profit using the weighted average inventory costing method. So now we're going to use weighted average. We're still going to start out with that same beginning inventory, 16 tires at $65 each. And then on May the 11th, we're going to purchase 10 tires at $78. But notice now we're going to have to get an average cost of our inventory. In order to do that, we are going to have 26 tires total. Our total cost of these tires is $1,820, which is the total of the 1,040 that we had in beginning inventory and the total cost of our newest purchase. So those two added together is $1,820. We're going to divide that by the total number of units, which is 26, and that gives us a $70 weighted average cost per tire. So when we sell tires on the 23rd, those 12 tires, we're going to cost those out at the weighted average of $70. That's going to leave us with 14 tires in ending inventory, again at the weighted average of $70. So you keep the same weighted average until we make another purchase, and we do. So on the 26th, we buy 14 tires at $80. So now we have to compute a new weighted average. How do we do that? Well, we add the $980 we had in inventory plus the $1,120 for the new purchase, and that gives us a total of $2,100. We have a total number of 28 tires. We have this 14 and that 14. So our new weighted average is going to be $75, or $2,100, our total cost, divided by the number of tires we have on hand. So now when we sell our tires on the 29th, we sell 18 tires. They're going to be costed at our new weighted average of $75. And our ending inventory is going to be the 10 tires we have left, 28 minus 18, at that weighted average of $75. So now we have a purchases of $1,900, cost of $2,190, and ending inventory of $750. Our gross profit, our sales revenue, will still be the same, $2,640, which is the 30 tires times $88. Our cost of goods sold comes from our chart, $2,190, and our gross profit is $450. In requirement 4, it says which method results in the largest gross profit and why. So I have listed here the cost of goods sold and sales and gross profit under FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. And we see that FIFO had the highest gross profit of the three methods. And why is that? Well, remember our beginning inventory, the cost was $65. Our first purchase on May the 11th was $78. Our second purchase on the 26th was $80. So our costs were increasing over the month. If costs are increasing, FIFO will produce the lowest cost of goods sold and the highest gross profit of the three different methods. And also notice that weighted average will always be between FIFO and LIFO. And that is the conclusion of the demonstration for exercise 620.